me begin by thanking Vice Principal Michelle Gonzalez for that overwhelmingly kind introduction. I should probably stop right here and leave you with her introduction of me as a lasting impression. But against my better judgment, I will go on. I would also like to thank Dr. Dobie and Principal Castaneda for allowing me to be here tonight. Special thanks go out to the faculty, family, and friends of the graduating class of 2012. Let me welcome each of you to this triumphant event. I have racked my mind and my heart for what I ought to say to you today. I've asked myself what I wish I had known at my own graduation, and what important lessons I've learned in the 36 years that have come and gone between that day and this. Yes, it's hard for me to believe that it's been 1,878 weeks since I sat in chairs just like these, or 13,146 days, or 315,504 hours, give or take a minute. So let that be proof to all my high school math teachers that I was listening to each of you after all. Now, there are two kinds of commencement speeches, I'm told. The first being a speech that encourages, is exciting, keeps you on the edge of your seat, one that's delivered with poise, confidence, and grace. And then there's the kind that you're about to experience here tonight. President Abraham Lincoln once said, "I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives, and I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him." I want you to know that I am proud to be back in my place, my hometown, Carrizo Springs. And I can only hope that over the years I may have in some small way made you proud. Now, I know from experience that the full meaning of this day may not truly be felt by you, the graduates, for many, many years to come. I want to ask each of you, if you would right now, look to your left and to your right at the friends that surround you. The friendships that you share here today are sealed together forever because of this one shared achievement. I first came to Carrizo Springs in the summer of 1971. I was a skinny, pale, young teenage boy, afraid of how I would fit in. I'd spent most of my first 13 years of life in the Scottish Rite Hospital for Children in Dallas. Most of my early education consisted of tutors in the hospital and in the privacy of my parents' home. By the time I started junior high here in Carrizo Springs, I had already undergone over 40 orthopedic procedures. So it was on crutches that I first stepped into the halls of the Carrizo Springs school system. But it was here in Carrizo Springs that I began to believe in myself. It was here, among the cactus and mesquite, where I gained acceptance and in turn learned to be accepting. In this place where the only colors that truly mattered to any of us in the end weren't brown, black, or white, but purple and gold. It was here that I was encouraged by teachers, just as you have been, to believe I could accomplish anything. I learned that the degree to which I succeeded or failed in life was completely up to me. It was from my pastor, the late Preston Taylor Sr., that I took to heart the verse, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." As I look back over the years long since past, I realize how blessed I am to have lived in Carrizo Springs. It was here that I was allowed sometimes to do more than I was physically able to handle. But in the end, you always left it up to me to find and set my own limitations. And I thank you for that. I'm here to tell you today, class of 2012, that life is not fair. It's just life. And you will sink or swim on your own. But you can achieve anything, regardless the obstacles that you face, if you refuse to quit. Only God could turn a mess like my life was into a message of victory and triumph. But the great news is that all of my victories are due to the very same factors that are here to help you succeed. They are your faith, your family, and the teachers who collectively have given their all so that you might achieve your all. For me, it was people like Henry Jackson, my junior high principal, who believed in me when I did not believe in myself. People like Mr. Morgan Leith, who took a little crippled boy that could carry a tune and nurtured my love for music and insisted that I do the work and taught me that just being good wasn't good enough. Strive to be great. But mostly, I am thankful for Miss Albright, who taught me to love this country, this republic, and our Constitution. Oh, and then there was Mr. Sammy Allen, who taught me and so many others over the years when we had fallen asleep in class, when we weren't paying attention. He and he alone taught us the invaluable lesson of how to dodge a blackboard eraser. He's not here tonight, is he? I love you, Mr. Allen. But mostly I'm thankful for the many friends who accepted me just as I was and allowed me to grow and gain confidence through your friendship. I stand here today because of each of these individuals and so many more, and due to that higher strength that passes all understanding. I left Carrizo Springs in 1976 with a full vocal scholarship to Hardin-Simmons University. But it didn't take long for me to realize I did not want to be an operatic tenor. I was just a country boy from Carrizo Springs. But I learned a very important lesson as I left Hardin-Simmons at the end of that year. I learned that your destiny is not so deeply chiseled in stone that the slate cannot be wiped clean. It's never too late to reassess. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to change your mind. And it's never too late to set new goals. Class, make sure you understand that your goals will change depending on your life experiences. And you see, the tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching a goal. The tragedy of life lies when you have no goals to reach. My goal, my passion was and always has been music. Went to Nashville, Tennessee, and I had more doors slammed in my face than I could count. Oh, I was told I had talent, but my biggest obstacle was my disability. I was told I could never be that success or be that star that I had envisioned in my mind. Graduates, if you don't hear anything I say tonight, I want you to listen to this part right here. You will have people in your life that will tell you that you cannot reach your dreams. They will tell you that you're not talented enough. They will tell you that you're not smart enough. They'll tell you you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, that you cannot reach your highest imaginings for all sorts of reasons. But that is a lie. Because you see, there was once a little baby whose parents were told he wouldn't live through the night of his birth, but he did. There was once a little boy who was told he would never walk, but he did. There was once a young teenager who was told he would never be able to go to public school, but he did. There was once a 19-year-old young man who was told he would never graduate from college, but eventually he did, with a 4.0 GPA. There was once a young man who was told he would never make it in the music industry, but he did. With chart songs in 3 different music genres, with both Grammy and Dove nominations. Listen, if I can accomplish my dreams with all the obstacles that were in my way, how much more can you, the class of 2012, accomplish if you throw away and ignore that one crippling word, can't? Your lives are not determined by what happens to you. but by how you react to what happens. Not by what life brings to you, but rather what you bring to your life. I'm here to tell you today that you don't have to settle for the sky's the limit, because I've heard tell there are footprints on that full moon. I once read a story of an elderly carpenter who was ready to retire. And he told his employer contractor of his plans to leave the house building business and live a more leisurely life with his wife and his extended family. Oh, he would miss the paycheck, sure, but he thought they could get by. The contractor was sorry to see his good worker go, but he asked him to do him one more favor, build one more house as a personal favor to him. And the carpenter reluctantly said yes, but in time it was easy to see his heart was not in his work. He began to use inferior materials, resort to shoddy workmanship. It was a very unfortunate way to end a dedicated career. When the carpenter finished the work, the employer came to inspect the house, and he handed that front door key to the carpenter. And he said, "This is your house. My gift to you for all those years of dedicated service." And the carpenter was shocked. What a shame, he thought. If I had only known I was building my own house, I would have done it all so differently. So it is for us here today, graduates. Your teachers, your family, and the faculty of Creasel Springs High School, they are the contractors of your life. They have helped you reach the point in your education where they are asking you to build one more house, your future, and the building of it starts today. Don't spend the rest of your life putting less than your best into that building. Build wisely, for one day you will be required to live in the house that you built. There's so much of life left to be lived, young people. My prayer for you, class of 2012, is that when you leave this field, you will reach out and take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Be eager to grow, to learn, to make a difference, not only in the lives of those around you, but to make such an impact that the ripple effect of your efforts will eventually cascade down and touch the lives of people you will never meet. Be willing to risk more than others think is safe. Endeavor to care more than others think is wise. Don't be afraid to dream more than others think is practical. And always, always be willing to expect more from yourself and from your life than others think is possible. In closing, let me share one last thing with you. Music has played a vital part in my life, and it has taken me around the world and has brought me back ultimately to the very spot that it all started for me, right here on this field. And somewhere down that long and winding road, I learned that life is much like a superbly composed piece of music. It has its slow parts, it has its crescendos, its fast tempos, its pianissimos and fortissimos. And somewhere down the road, the song that is your life, you will forget the words. And you will end up singing the melody out of tune and out of time. But never give up. Never stop singing. My prayer for you tonight is that when you leave this field, you will stand in a spotlight of your own making, throw back your head, and sing. Thank you for allowing me to be back in my place, my hometown of Carrizo Springs, and may God bless and watch over the class of 2012.